Okay, so this video is kind of a how-to in terms of dealing with salespeople, and specifically when it comes to salespeople and the senior citizen in your own family. Okay, whether it's your mum or your dad, your grandparents, or just an elderly relative. You know, I'm part of that sandwich generation taking care of the old and the young, and specifically in this case my 80-plus-year-old mum. So going through articles, and I'm seeing that the biggest number of people who are being scammed are senior citizens. No surprise there. Many of them are not tech savvy. They are very old school, so are easily charmed to some degree, especially when they are face to face with a salesperson or over the phone, that then leads on to the salesperson making the sale. Other reasons in terms of the elderly being scammed is that they tend to spend a lot of time watching TV and these infomercials, and end up purchasing products that they don't need. Now, I'm not saying that infomercials are necessarily a scam. I'm just saying that for a lot of old people, they just end up buying stuff that they really do not need. Or let me speak for my own mum. So let me give you a scenario first, and then some tips. So one Saturday, I'm at my mum's home. It's Saturday afternoon. So we're there in the kitchen, you know, general chit chat, and there's a someone at her door. So I turn to my mum. Are you expecting someone? No. Okay. So I go and answer the door to see who it is. Open the door. There's a guy about my age. That'll be a middle-aged guy. You know, nice looking man. Office casual attire. He has a big badge on his shirt with his name and the company information on the badge. He has a clipboard with some papers in his hand. So here's me. Hi, how can I help you? Oh, hello, how are you? My name is such and such, and can I speak with such and such? And in this case, he gives me my mum's name. So I say, oh, okay, well, I'm one of her daughters. How can I assist you? All right? Pitbull coming on. How can I assist you? He says, oh, okay, well, your mum sent a response back to our company. You know, we sent out some mailings. She sent a response back saying that she would like some information on a product that our company sells. I'm like, okay. Then I start asking questions about the product and what does the company sells. Turns out it's insurance, all right? So he gives me the card that my mother had completed. A lot of fine print on the card. Turn it over, but I see that she signed the information. And there's a line on the card that says, if you would like further information mailed to you, or in even finer print, have a sales rep discuss this information with you, please sign here. So I'm looking at this, skimming it over. Yeah, my mum definitely signed this. So I said to the guy, oh, okay, just hold on, let me just speak with my mum. Shut the door, go back in the kitchen, I'll give my mum the card. So here's me. Mum, do you recognize this? Oh, what's that? I said, okay, do you recognize this card? Because someone's at the door who says that you return the card to the company requesting this information. So she looks it over. What's that? I didn't send up any information. I said, look at the card again. Isn't that your signature? Oh yes. I thought they were going to mail it to me. So I said no. So I'm like, okay, so the guy's outside by the door. Would you like to see him? Well, if he's there, have him come in. So I said, okay. I head back to the front door, pitbull on another level, to the salesperson. Yeah, come in. My mum's in the kitchen. So I escort him in. He sits down. And then introductions are made, and they're making small talk, right? So we're at the kitchen table, the three of us. I'm, let's say, here, and to my left is the salesperson, to my right is my mum. So they're facing each other. So I don't want to intercede in this discussion. I just want to see how this is going to go down, right? Anyway, back to the kitchen table. My mum and the salesperson are having a little chit chat, right? Now my mum's living room is full of pictures of the family, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, She has up her British flag, her American flag, her Jamaican flag. So, I see him kind of eyeing the living room, and as all salespeople do, finding ways to make small talk. He's seeing, for example, the British flag, and my mum's got a picture of Queen Elizabeth in the living room. So that's where the point of conversation continues from. Apparently he is Canadian born, blah blah blah, it goes from there, and then my mother goes off into her spiel about England and blah blah blah. So here I am at the kitchen table, remaining quite still and not saying a thing, right? So like I said, I am in pitbull mode, right? So I'm like this, waiting for the conversation now to reach into the sales part of this, right? So he launches now into his sales mode, right? So he's in his sales mode. I'm in my pitbull mode, and my mum's just there listening. Oh yes, okay. Oh yes, okay. Right? So he continues on, and he's talking about all kinds of insurance and this and that and the benefits of it, and as an elderly person, why it would benefit her, and all the pros in regards to a product that she doesn't really need, right? But like I said, I just listen. At this stage, I've already taken my little notebook and started taking little notes, right? And I know that the man does not feel too comfortable in regards to that, because I don't think that he's used to probably going into a household, and especially, of people of colour, and there's that attention paid. I think they're used to going in there and just running their pitch and whatever. But who knows? If that's not the case, you let me know what your experience has been. So there I am taking my little notes, and then he says to my mum, okay, so you understand then, about the products, how does it sound to you? And then my mum, oh, it sounds okay, So then he says to my mum, oh, do you have any questions at this point? So my mum says, no. So I turn to him, so him and I now are speaking, and I start looking at my notes, and I said, okay, you mentioned about A, B, and C in regards to your company's product, and then I started to go off now and discuss some of the things I heard. I'm putting him on, not on blast, but making him inform me as to exactly what it is. Break it down for me and let me hear exactly what it is again that you're trying to sell this senior citizen, right? Okay, so he does all that. And I said, okay, well, let me just inform you, right, that I understand, okay, about what you're offering. But right now, my mother, as you see, is a senior citizen. She is retired and has been retired for a number of years on a fixed income. Yes, she's a homeowner, blah, 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 blah. But some of the things that you're offering her, she already has. Can I take that, the form and look it over? He says, oh no, because this form, if your mum's interested now, we can go ahead and start filling out the information. What information do you need to start that process? He's like, oh, your mum's name, bank information, so if she wants automatic debit taken out from her account, SS number, some real specifics in regards to that. I said, no, at this point in time, no, we can't do that. However, one of the key things that I need to do, right, is to be able to sit down with my mum and go through her budget to see if even considering this makes any sense. Then he's like, okay, you can see a little bit of discomfort on his end, right? But it's something that I had to do because, like I said, I'm in pitbull mode. And there's a reason why I have to be that way. The reason is specifically for that, okay? Because not to say this person came in with any kind of scam in mind. I'm not saying that. But I realize here that here was an example of a product being pushed to my mum that she just didn't need. That had I not been there, then she most likely would have gone through the whole sales pitch with the salesperson, and he would have motivated her or encouraged her to fill out the information, and then got her caught up in giving him info that she shouldn't have given, and taken on something that she does not need. So you see the look on his face. Wasn't too happy. But like I said, I was in pitbull mode. So, we went through the niceties, wrapping up the conversation, and the guy left, gave my info, he left me his business card, etc. And that was it. Right? And that's why, yes, why I have to be a pit bull sometimes when it comes to salespeople. It's not that all the time people are going to run scams on the elderly, but they will try to encourage them to buy products that they just don't need, right? So okay, so the guy had left. So I asked her, I said, Mum, didn't I ask you not to fill out any information, not to sign for anything, not to respond to anything without, we going over it first? Oh, her response, oh, I just saw it there and I thought they were going to mail me the information. I said, yeah, I know, I did see that on the form, but in small letters, in the fine print, they said mail information to you or have a local sales rep come and give you the information. And that's where you'll find that they'll catch a lot of the senior citizens, right? So here are my tips. If you are dealing with a senior citizen, make it clear to them not to sign for anything. Don't send off any requests for anything without someone at least looking at the information first, because a lot of just in terms of sending back stuff to companies. A lot of the important information is in the fine print, right? Another one I would say, if it's a legitimate deal, all right, and some of them are, and you personally cannot be there, you know, everyone's juggling their own responsibilities. I'll try to find some way to set up some kind of video call, or you get the information for the salesperson and do a three-way call. At least you can hear what is being discussed, even if you can't physically be there. Another tip is take, if there is a presentation made, take the sales information and you follow up with that company and let them know that you are the person to contact on behalf of that senior citizen. You are the first point of contact. Any information they give to you, you will then relay to the senior citizen. Most companies don't like to hear that. They don't like to deal with a third person, because to them, I think, it's probably blocking what would be a very easy sell. But you block as you need to. Another thing that I would really recommend also, especially if you realize that this is a very pushy salesperson or a very pushy company in terms of their products, let them know that you will be checking, and that if you do see that a deal was done or some kind of product was ordered, that you will cancel that flat outright. You know, because sometimes, remember, you're dealing with senior citizens, and they also want to have their level of independence, and even though they may appreciate you assisting them, sometimes it depends upon the personality of that person. They may just want what they want, even if it doesn't match with their budget, even if the product doesn't make any sense, and they may want to go around you and just get the product anyway. Another tip that I would give in terms of being that pit bull when it comes to salespeople and the senior citizens that you're responsible for is look at their junk mail, because if they're getting tons and tons of junk mail, it means that somewhere along the lines they may have ordered some things from a company, and their name is now on a mailing list, and you want to get them off that junk mail list, because if they go to one company, their name then gets put onto a mass mailing list, and especially targeting the elderly. One of the things that I always mention to my mum is that don't allow any salesperson into your house unless someone's there with you. Don't sign off for anything. Don't get on the phone with anyone and say yes or no regarding anything, right, until you discuss it with another family member. But as you see, sometimes these things are not always taken into consideration, and she doesn't always do that, right? And this is something that you want to be aware of when it comes to your elderly family members, right? You may tell them one thing, but they do a whole other thing. So with that said, is there a need for me to clarify why I have to be a pit bull sometimes, especially when it comes to salespeople? Yeah, I think you have to, see yourself as a line of defense between a salesperson who is not necessarily out there to scam the elderly, but in making sales with the elderly, they see that as a quick and easy sell if there's no one there, to be a part of that whole process. So I hope that my tips help you in some way, and if you have your own tips, please share them with me. The whole idea of the elderly being victims of scams is ever increasing, especially in this tech savvy world. So if you have tips that you can share with me, or even your own scam stories that you can share, so to make me aware and to, you know, make other people who interact on this channel aware, that would be great. I thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope that my hindsight has and will inspire you, and that you will find your own way to blossom.